It's what do we do, right? What do we do, Rick the puppy? It might be a living nightmare. I feel Rick the puppy. Are you paying attention to me, Rick the puppy? I feel like sometimes I live in a game of Sim City. I don't know if you feel like that, but I feel. What's that, Rick the puppy? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come down here. I sometimes I feel like you hear life is a simulation, and it's I'm not really sure what that means. I sort of kind of believe it, even though I don't know what it is. Like maybe God were a video game, and God, there's a goddamn fly in the room. It's summertime. It's just the way it is. Um, but I feel like Philadelphia. We used to have this game Sim City, and now I know they have the Sims, but it used to be this fly. I need to get the bug zapper. Hold on, Rick the puppy. Come on, you want to say hi? We used to have this game Sim City, and you would build your city. You would have a budget, and you would build like a stadium, and then the airport, and then you would have to build a power plant, and you would just have to build stuff to keep the city running. And then just for fun, you would just, I would just maybe spend all my money and build nightclubs all over. And then I would have no budget and I would run out of money. And then there would be when things would go bad in Sim City, there would be like I think it was like lightning bolts, and it would like, oh no, power grid down, oh plane crash, blah blah blah, and then things start collapsing and the city gets destroyed. Philadelphia, we're on the brink. We are on the brink of lightning bolts and uh it's not going to be a good look. Luckily, it's happening now, and not next year. But we we're going to lose our trash men, our teachers. I think people who work at the airport. 9,000 jobs are about to go on strike tonight at midnight, unless I didn't see a news story because I actually haven't been paying attention. Uh, um, so anyway, I was just thinking about like it's the end of the month and people are going to be moving and people are going to be getting evicted from places. So people may be putting trash out early and we don't even know if we have trash men this week. Um, Last time the city went on strike was in the 80s. And I remember being a kid and I went to Nativity BVM school. And I remember walking with my mom. I must be 11, 9 or 11. One of those. I'm either 86 or 88. And so I'm 9 or 11. And we're walking past A&W Playground, which is a local neighborhood playground. And tiny playground, not a very big playground in Port Richmond. And I remember the pile of trash stacked up um, at the gate of the playground. It was, I was knee high to a grasshopper at that time, but the pile of trash was over 8 feet tall, and that's embedded into my brain. Like that's one of those core memories that I can look at it, I can see it. There's cardboard boxes It didn't, there was flies. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And this trash strike, um, uh, hey guys, how everybody doing? I just got to go off on this rant. This trash strike has uh, I have to claim ignorance because I don't pay attention to the news. I just don't do it anymore. And once in a while, I'll see a local news story, and this trash strike kind of went under my radar. But this is a big one. And then also our SEPTA, our public transportation system, they are so poorly managed. They are so poorly managed that they overspend their budget. And the one thing about SEPTA is they never, I don't think they ever make their budget. They always run well over their budget. And they always depend on the state to bail out their financial errors. And they're not, there's a trolley line, the 15 trolley. The SEPTA spent $80 million laying down this rail, just the rails for the trolley, and putting in new cable lines and a few other decorative things. They spent $80 million on the line, just the rails, and then they inspected the cars after they spent this money and realized, oh my God, we got to put a ton of money into these trolley cars, or we're going to lose them. So I think they spent, I think it could be $8 million a trolley car refurbing every car. And so that's a lot of money. Let's say it's over $100 million. The 15 trolley is a fantastic, it's cool. You take it to the zoo. I have core memories with the 15 trolley. Saying that, trolleys stink. You double park. It's cool, but they stink. And if they're not underground, sometimes trolleys, if you have a car double parked or a thing, it could just back up traffic. And they spent $100 million. And I hear if this doomsday scenario happens to our public transportation line, they're going to do away with that trolley anyway. I saw a news story that SEPTA has spent $5 million on a train station that is going to be closed down because of the doomsday budget, the scenario where everything stops running at 9. They're going to cut like 30% of the train lines, and it's going to kill the city. It's going to kill the city. And the local state politicians usually bail them out, but they're not doing it this year, and we're going to look pretty silly. And I'm very nervous about this. But also, I do think SEPTA right now is poorly managed. I don't know. It's kind of. I have kids, and sometimes your kids make bad decisions, and you just want to fucking scream at them and just say, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I think SEPTA's made a lot of bad. I don't. SEPTA is a necessary evil. I don't like SEPTA, but the city's very like, how the government saved all those banks back in 2008 because if they fail, we all fail. I think if SEPTA fails, the city, it's going to. It's bad, man. It's going to be bad. I'm worried about it. I'm also worried about this trash strike. Let's go to the chat. Sorry I haven't gone live in a while. I I've been kind of I did the Pocono thing. I don't think I even my goal was to go live at the Pocono racetrack. Um, but the Wi-Fi during the race was really um, horrible. It was really horrible. But I got to talk about that. I got to catch up on the Phillies, and then I got to get down there and go to the game tonight too. Uh, what's up, Rick the puppy? Why are you staring? Oh boy! Oh, look at that hair. He's all right, let's get to the chat. Yeah, so all the public trains were. You'll be at the game tomorrow, okay? Yeah, so all the public transportation companies. I think Chicago's going through the same thing. Um, yeah, I was in Pittsburgh, and I feel like there were some parts of Pittsburgh that we went up to this one spot. Um, there's that tram car you go up and I think we went into the town of Oakland. I think. Oh, I feel it, or maybe not. Maybe that was the street. And then there was, I think that was the street where our Airbnb was. There was this cool bar we went into called Jeans, and the Pandemic crew they go to Pittsburgh almost every time the Phillies go there, and they go back to this bar Jeans every time. Um, yeah, I should be there. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. Um, but anyway, the Pocono thing uh, was for as a NASCAR fan. I don't know if you like most people. I know I could tell by the views that not everybody's into NASCAR, and I appreciate you guys obliging me. But I worked my ass off that weekend. I was the first person in the press room, and I would leave after my video. I would start premiering my video, and the whole one of the reasons why I did the NASCAR thing at Pocono was Thor, my friend Matt. He's like uh, he's a great guy, and he asked me to come do the Pocono thing, and we were going to camp at the campground, and we were going to spend all this time at the campground. But then on Saturday morning, I got this really uh, I got an invite to Joey Logano's trailer at and I was like I had to be there at 9 a.m. So I got there at 7 a.m. I didn't want anything to go wrong. I wanted this opportunity. I thought so, and then we were going to hang out Sunday night, but then there was a rain delay, so we really didn't get to hang out much during the whole weekend. We kind of I would get back to camp, and they would grill and hang out for like an hour, and then everybody would go to bed. Um, we did on our last night on our campground at our campsite. We did have a family of bears. If you're a Patreon member, you got the video. It's not a camping with Captain video. Unfortunately, um, when you go camping for real at a real campground, it's pitch black, so you can't really camp. Um, so I set up a tent, but I bought this air mattress at a thrift store. It was in a box. It was brand new. Um, but you had to blow it up with a bike pump, and I didn't know that. So the first night I went to set up my tent, the first night I got there, it was too dark to set up the tent, so I just slept in my car. The next night I set up the tent, but then the air mattress I needed a bike pump, and I didn't have a bike pump. And the one guy had an air generator, but it was like at like 11 o'clock at night, and it was like quiet time. And he was like, "Nah, dude, we could do it." And I was like, "Nah, I don't want to be a jerk off." So we didn't do it. So I slept in the car that night. Now that night, Matt wakes up and he sees a raccoon going around my tent that's set up. And I said, "Ooh, I'm not sleeping in that thing." I didn't cover my tent, and there was like a large rainstorm. So I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to sleep in there. But I do have the air mattress in my car. I'm going to blow that up, and then I'll sleep comfortably, probably in the car. And I went to blow up the mattress, but I used a thing that, like, the one you use at a gas station to inflate your tires, and it blew up my air mat. Like, it didn't just blow it up, it blew up. And so I just slept in the car. And then when Matt woke up, he said there was a mama bear, and I think 4 or 5 cubs, and one cub was eating through our Martin potato rolls, and another one was going through our trash site, our trash can, not our trash can. We had a bag. You hang it on a hook, and the bear was like clawed at it, and Matt wasn't scared. Matt is like a nature guy. He's kind of a manly man. Him and all his friends, they all hunt. The one guy like hunts and butchers deer right there on the spot. Now, I couldn't do that, but he, I respect somebody who could do that. And I also, like, I told him, you know, if the world comes to an end, I'm happy I know this guy as a friend, because he probably could maybe throw me like a deer rib, something special that I could survive for a day or two. Uh, so, um, yeah, so we saw the bear, and I had a great time at Pocono. I got to talk to Joey Logano. There's some clips of that on my Instagram page. Um, and I didn't like Joey Logano. I got to be honest. I'm a Kyle Busch guy. So pretty much everybody who Kyle Busch hates, which is pretty much everybody, I hate them. And but Joey Logano was so cool, and I think he genuinely liked our little conversation. I told him, I was like, dude, I'm not like, it's not going to be a serious NASCAR interview. It's just like dopey, dumb questions. And I said, I'm going to turn it up a little bit when I hit record. Just be aware. And he's like, okay, whatever. Uh, yeah, Jay's right. I love camping. Black bears rarely attack. That's what Matt said. They don't attack. They're more scared. They're more scared of us as we are scared of them. And I told him that's bullshit. There's no way they're that scared of me, because I'm terrified. Um, 142. Oh, they're good at breaking in the car? Shit, I should lock the doors. Oh, that's not good. That ruins it for me. And I figured out a way to sleep in the back of the car and be comfortable. Um, I uh, I don't know when I'm doing this, um, but I do plan on. Um, I want to try to hit like 4 shore towns in one day, and I'm not sure which 4 towns that would be. But I want to end my day watching the sunset on Cape May, and I probably want to watch it, the sunrise and sunset. Maybe I could start at Wildwood. I don't know. I got to figure that out. But that's something on deck. I also, um, if you don't have any plans, I have a big announcement. I'm going to announce it in the video tonight, but I'll announce it here now. Uh, you can't hear it, but there's a drum rolling right now. Uh, okay. Okay. All right. There's a lot of text messages. All right. Okay. We're almost there. I just want to get the date right. It's very important. It's very important. A lot of people come up to me and they go, hey, Captain, how do you get to go to so many games? No, it's not. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, people always say to me, they go, hey, Captain, I would love to watch a game with you. How can I watch a game with you? Well, I can tell you how, my friend. On July 29th, you can watch a game with me and also play a game with me because Philly Captain Quizzo is back. But it's not just Quizzo, it's Philly Captain Trivia Extravaganza because legally you can't say Quizzo. I will be making an appearance July 29th at the Editing House, otherwise known as the E House, at 2813 Humeville Road in Bensalem, next to Parks, near the Parks area. I will be playing, look, baseball. We won't play Quizzo when the Phillies are batting. We'll play Quizzo in between innings. We'll play some trivia. We'll have some fun. Will some people be with me? Of course. Of course. The Let's Go guy will be there. And I haven't talked to anyone else yet. Going to try to get Todd, Trivia Todd. He wants to, I'll tell you the truth. I like to get my friends to pursue their dreams. And Todd, I think Todd wants to be a Quizzo host. I mean, trivia host. And I'm hoping this, because Todd was doing trivia night at a bar just for fun. So it's going to be me, the Let's Go guy. I got to talk to the Fandemic guys, Brett and Oscar. I haven't talked to anyone like that. I think Betty's Triples will be there. We'll have a little bit of giveaways for that. We'll have some fun. God damn, wouldn't it be cool if I could get Luke to come to an away game to play noises? I don't know how we do that. I don't know how we do that. But god damn, doesn't that sound like fun? Well, it's going to be a lot of that. Anyway, I hope this is going to be. I'm not going to do them a lot. Maybe like once a month, once every 2 weeks. Rotate the cast of goofballs, as Mike the Scientologist says, and hang out with us, have a good time, play Quizzo, win a prize. We'll take pictures. I don't want to kiss babies. But we'll take pictures with babies. I have no problem with that. Uh, uh, but it will be a good time. Also, if you haven't played Philly Captain Quizzo, it's different than or trivia. It's different. It's different because it's fun. I did Quizzo at a bar in my neighborhood for about a year or two. And then I left and somebody took my place. And I was told it's not the same. It's just not the same. And I get it. Because you know why? I rate most Quizzo people work for, or trivia host, work for companies and they get paid $50. They do the job for 2 hours, but everything's written for them. I personally write each game myself, and it's not just going to be like, look, we're going to be watching the Phillies, the trivia. not Phillies. It's going to be, there might be a round of Phillies questions, but we're going to make it not just a Phillies thing. We're going to have a good time. Maybe, oh, what if Onslaught showed up? Wouldn't that be a festive day? Yeah. And it's going to be a good time. Thanks to Decky and Dan for setting this up. Um, I also, I was going to go out to watch the White Sox. That will eliminate me going to the White Sox because this is like our audition. Now, here's the deal. It's free to go to. Like, it's free. You don't have to pay a cover charge. You just got to show up. And I want to do these a lot, but I need people to show up. And sometimes my events are hit and miss. And I don't really, I don't like doing these live events, like doing the Quizzo. One of the reasons why I stopped doing Quizzo was I was paid based off the attendance, and I wasn't really helped with promoting the show. And I got very, very nervous that I would never have enough people show up. And it never happened. There was one time there was a tornado warning, but we still played. But I always felt like I was, I didn't like that. And I can tell you right now, just saying these sentences, I need you guys to come out. I hate even saying that. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. Damn, maybe I could figure out a way for Luke to play sounds on the soundboard. Or maybe we could have a dance, and I want to have fun with it, like not just quizzos and trivia, but like maybe we'll do like a Dan Baker impression. You know, I don't know, a hot dog eating kind. We'll have fun. We're gonna have fun. I probably will not be live streaming it, but I'll be making a video for the greatest hits. I know, Jay. Jay, listen, that's far, cuz you wait. It's in Ben Salem. I know where you live. You don't have to. Uh, it's going to take place at the editing house on 729 2813 Humeville Road. That's HULMEVILLE Road, Ben Salem, PA 19020. I hear they have good food. I hear they're going to have some good drink. I hope they have non-alcoholic beer. It's going to be a good time. Yeah. And like I said, it's not just me. I know the Let's Go guy. 95% certain he's confirmed. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I will I'm going to make a announcement on the video I make today at the baseball game. And then I will share that on social media and so forth and such. Oh, thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. It's a 1 hour ride? Okay, well. I did Quizzo at Green Rock a few times. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to do it in somewhere around here again. It's a different era though, so I don't know. It's a different type of thing. It's not just Quizzo. It's the Philly Captain Trivia Extravaganza, where we're not only so there's 9 innings of baseball, so we'll have 9 innings of trivia, probably 2 questions an inning, right? Because we want to play the game and da da da, watch this. Plus, we'll do the Dan Baker impressions, or maybe just Phillies impressions overall. Um, and it should be fun. Yeah. Um, Thanks, Wiz, because I know. Yeah, Mike and Christine have done the tours. I haven't done a tour in a while. Um, Maybe I'll do one. The problem is now it's just too hot. So I don't want to do it when it's uncomfortable. You do it when it's 100 degrees, nobody shows up. Um, Mike, no, with Todd, I don't think Todd's going to be playing Quizzo. Todd, I think Todd will actually be one of the. He'll be like my relief pitcher. I'll be pitching a few innings, and then Todd will be my relief pitcher. The let's go guy, I told him, whenever the Phillies score a run, he needs to say let's go. And maybe we can get Luke to show up. I think he's in advertising. He does something with advertising. Well, it's not going to be. Listen, my first time I did Quizzo, I had a round about Sex in the City, and everybody was so pissed off because they thought it was nothing but sports trivia. So I would, if you're faking Quizzo, I guess when Todd gets thrown in for the relief innings, um, um, maybe it would go heavy sports. But I would say my Quizzo, not heavy sports. Oh, I think his pops would have to bring him. I don't think it would be possible this time around, but maybe next time around. Um, oh, maybe I don't know. I gotta go to the bar. I gotta go to the bar and talk to people and see what it's like and see the space. And I'm a very visual. I know I can go online and look at pictures. It doesn't work. Uh, my favorite Stern person. My niche Stern person. Um, We're gonna go Whack Pack. I mean, I guess I would have to be Mark the Bagger because he watches me. I like Mark the Bagger. I don't know, France. I don't know how YouTube works. Um, is it not normal to go back more than a month in my videos? Maybe they just show the last 30 videos you post. I'm not sure how that works. Uh, no, I almost got into a fight with Crackhead Bob. Him and Ralph. Crackhead Bob, I was at the filming of Private Parts, and Crackhead Bob like shoved into me, and I was like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" And then Ralph started yelling at me. He's like, "Hey, don't yell at him. He's Crackhead Bob." And I'm like, "Doesn't matter who he is. You can't just knock into people. Not like that." It was like angry. Uh, and then he was yelling at me, and then he was spitting on me. I was, "What is going on?" Yeah. I think Stern is a 72-year-old man who, uh, back in 2013, was trying to get a job at America's Got Talent. So he hired somebody to help clean up his image. And that is the persona or image he's living. And I think the guy that we see today, the germophobic freak who still doesn't leave his house. I think that's who he is. I mean, isn't it? Um, he's kind of like Howard Hughes. He doesn't go into New York because he's still afraid of germs. Um, but I don't think his politics have really changed. I know a lot of people get mad because he bashes Trump, but he's always, to me, it's always seemed he's always bashed the Republicans because they were mostly W. Bush was going hard after censorship, after Nipplegate. So I remember him clearly bashing, but I guess whatever. Um, but no, do I think he's going soft? He's a 72-year-old man who's been in therapy for 30 years. If he didn't get soft, I would definitely blame his therapist. Um, but yeah, he has a lot of money and he hangs out with people who are very rich. Sometimes I think he is resentful of his mother for living such a long time because he has to pay for it. You hear him talk about it sometimes. And he's a very angry person. And um, he's very complex. And he's very, I think he also he has a little bit of autism that he's not even aware of because the way he hyper focuses on guitar playing and chess playing and painting and all that stuff. There's a lot of things wrong with him. But yeah, I guess he did get soft. Answer your question, yes. Yeah. I think his interviews are. I used to love his. Look, I'm the biggest Stern fan you'll meet. Um, I used to love his interviews, and then there was an interview he did with Lizzo, where when he does his interviews, he always tries to play therapist and find out what the bad thing is in life and what and Lizzo just wasn't like, oh, I don't, I'm happy about stuff, I'm not really a negative person like that. And I was like, yeah, you know what? He really does try to steer all his interviews into it's always about it's always about parents. And I remember when he interviewed Barbara Streisand, um, he could relate to the parents because he didn't think his father um, ever showed him love, and then it's a whole thing. It's a very his interviews are well written. You can tell he's not. It's not a conversation. These are well written questions on the computer screens in front of him, and they're well researched. Um, and I think that's John Hine and the other producers. They do. John Hine does a lot of the research. I know that. Um, but yeah, I do think. Um, damn, I just saw one on YouTube. There was an interview he just did with Seth Meyers, and um, it just comes off phony, and I hate that. I'm just like, but he's in his 70s, and I can listen to him do his impression of his mother. I can listen to that for hours. I love that, and he does that at least once a week. So as long as he will do the mom impression, I'm there, and I will always be a fan of his. I just I don't think Springsteen has put out a good album in a while. He's getting older. That's just how it goes. Um, yeah, I think Benji's still around. He's just not in the room. And no, I love Imus. I used to listen to Imus during Howard Stern's commercials. I would listen to the Imus show. And I thought Imus, I remember there was one time I listened to Imus and he went to go vote on the air and he was talking to the poll workers. And I thought it was one of the fun, because he's like this old curmudgeon guy. And I found Imus funny. I'm a big fan of, like, I love Opie and Anthony. They hate Howard Stern. I love Kid Chris, who loves Howard Stern. If you're a good radio host, I will. I think my favorite radio show of all time is Don and Mike talking about Elvis, If you can find, it's called Don and Mike Elvis Death Day. There's a bunch of them. It's the best radio. I love it. I did see what Alicia Jordan's up to. Yeah, I do. Is this like the Howard Stern hour? This is crazy. But I love Howard. I love Mark the Bagger, and I I don't DM people often. I did DM Richard Christie. I was trying to get on the wrap up show as a guest, and yeah, I shit the bed on that. That didn't go well. Oh, I never heard Soupy's radio show. I couldn't imagine what that was because he was like a kid's radio, kid host. Um, I don't have Sirius right now, but there is a YouTube channel that streams the newer shows, so you can catch up. I think they did the last two shows is they had JD sit in the studio to like laugh, and I actually love it. I love it. You had that Bruce conversation with my dad. Oh, I love Phil Hendry. Phil Hendry was the best. But the thing about the Phil Hendry show was um, he would Phil Hendry would pretend to be his guest. He would have like a thing that would change his voice, and his guests were always insane. And they would say outrageous things, and people would just call into his show and complain. So for about 5 weeks, I was listening to the show, and I was like, this is the best radio show. These guests are hilarious. And then Phil Henry broke the news that he was the characters, and then it ruined the show for me. But then I got to enjoy the show from a different perspective. To like, look how quick these people are to call into a talk show and not know what they're talking about. Oh, high pitches voice. Uh, yeah, I heard his voice is changing. It like just kicks into like a normal deep voice. Uh, I don't know what that does. Does that ruin? I think it's interesting. He's still like a weirdo, so I think they still keep him on. You thought the Grease Man was? I didn't find the Grease Man very good. I thought the Grease Man, out of all the radio shows you ever heard Howard bash, the one I really thought that deserved it was the Grease Man. I didn't find the Grease Man very good. And every radio show always kind of bashed on the Grease Man, Opie and Anthony. And you know what the thing is? Anthony Cumia, he's back on regular radio, on an AM station in New York City, and I think he's killing it. I actually watch it on YouTube and I listen to it. He has Jim Norton on once in a while, and it's pretty good. I always loved when the Opie and Anthony show, when Opie was sick or Opie was on vacation and Jim and Anthony were still there. I love those shows. Howard doesn't like the voice change. Well, I think isn't it crazy? I think it's really interesting. I don't. I think he still has like a 80 IQ, right? He's still, he's a scam artist. He's a hustler. I would stay away from him. Mark the Bagger, I would go to lunch with. High pitch Eric, I don't think I would go to lunch with because I think he would steal the bottle of ketchup from the table. Some people would do that. And I never heard Bob Grant. He was a New York guy. I know Howard loved Bob Grant. Cheryl loves Eric. Cheryl, she loves Eric, or she actually hates Eric, but loves listening to Eric. I I loved Eric. Cheryl, Mrs. Captain, wasn't into Stern at that much, and when she came here, I had to introduce her to some things, and then I introduced her to Eric, the actor. And that's what I call him because I respect him. And she, like we went into Romeo when Eric was what was he, Derek from Texas? Oh my God, it's so funny. See, I think I never listened to David Lee Roth because at that time I had Sirius and I was listening to Stern or Howard 100. I was listening to Howard and Bubba. That's all I was listening to. I mean, I didn't really listen to Pharrell, um, but I would listen to Howard and Bubba and then the replay of Howard all day. And I never listened to the David Lee Roth show. I personally, uh, I think it would be an incredible show. I don't know how that. I think they probably gave up on him too early. Yeah, I was Dave. I was the my. Well, I've told this story before, but Mr. Movie used to. I think he had a radio show on WWDB. He also had a call-in cable show on CN8, and I was his first crank phone call in 25 years. And I called from my grandmom's apartment and I called the Mr. Movie Talk Show and I asked him if he thought Howard Stern was going to win an Oscar for Private Parts. And then I said, Baba Booey, and I hung up. And Steve sat there in his chair and he looked at the camera and he goes, "You know something, John?" Because I was so smart, I used my real name. He goes, "You know something, John? I've been doing these shows for 25 years and I've never once had a crank phone call. So congratulations. I hope you're happy with yourself." And I recorded it on the VCR. And I played it for my grandmom. And my grandmom said, "Oh, John Pat, I'm so disappointed in you." I didn't, it wasn't even that bad. Yeah. Evil Earth. Yeah, I love WWDB. I wish there was a radio station where um, you would have. I think like New Jersey 101.5 is sort of like that. It's not really like most of the talk radio is right wing talking points, you know. But I WWDB was like a radio station where you would talk about like, the potholes suck, right? Fucking potholes. And you would call in, yeah, pothole, like my car fell into a pothole. Oh, that stinks. And that would be the whole show. It would get a little political, but not all the time. And I miss radio like that. Um, I think it would be good. I think I kind of what I would that's kind of what I do with the YouTube thing is like I talk about the events happening, especially the one I dropped today. I'm really like I can't tell you how worried I am on um, our image. We're gonna look pretty horrible, and I don't know how retail businesses like the King of Prussia Mall, they stay open till 9 o'clock at night, and a lot of employees rely on public transportation to get from the King of Prussia near like Fairmount Park. You take a bus or whatever, and you get there. There's a lot of buses that go to the King of Prussia Mall, but if you cut off service at 9 p.m., what do we do? Like, it's real. Like I guess we close up an hour early. It's scary. I think what I think they're going to do is I think they're going to have an extension. I think they're going to have an extension. Um, just so we get past this week. I think. I think that's. I mean, that's what I hope they can do, because if the trash men go on strike, I don't know how we have Wawa Welcome America. Like, they're the guys that pick up the trash after all that shit's done. If they go on strike, I don't know how we do that. They usually have trash trucks parked on every block, and after it's all over, they have people go down and they clean up. And I don't know how that happens without the city workers. So they better get this shit. I can't believe it got this far to the last minute. Oh, what'd you say about Buster? Every time you see Buster, a dance contest. No, I don't think Buster has any dance contest. From Always Sunny. Yeah, no, Buster is just. I kind of walked in on him 2 times this week, and neither time was planned. Usually, we we have stuff planned out and we'll do things together. But I was just riding my bike and walked into him. That's the first time that's happened. And then I saw him in Atlantic City too. And that was I was supposed to do something with him down the shore. Um, I want to visit all the shore towns this summer and make a video on each boardwalk or whatever the hell they have. And he's going to show me around one of the towns I've never been to. Maybe Barnegat or something like that. Maybe Sea Isle City. I forget which one. But his family has a spot around there. He's going to show me all the spots. So he's a good guy. So that should be fun. And he also has appearances. You can follow Q102. He's at all the bars doing appearances and shit. He's a nice guy. Hi, Mom. Doing all right. Oh yeah. So if you're a Patreon member, um, postcards are mailed. You're gonna get. I think you're gonna get an early preview. It was supposed to be a Patreon exclusive, but it's so funny that I think I'm going to drop it the next time it's like I need to take a day off. I'll have this one in the reserves. There was a post on the Mayfair Business Improvement District on their Instagram page. I can't. The reason why I have to read the chat on the TV screen is because it's big. I can't really read it on my iPad. It's so small. And so I looked at this thing on my phone, and from what I saw, it said Nathan Lane is in production with a movie being filmed on blah, 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 blah. And I went, holy shit, Nathan Lane. I love Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane's one of the all times, right? I love the movie Birdcage. So I was like, I got to meet Nathan Lane. I got to find out if he puts ketchup on a hot dog. And I rode my bike. It was 101 degrees this day. I rode my bike around all of Mayfair looking for Nathan Lane. And I get to the filming location. They are filming something, but I don't see Nathan Lane. I go home and I look at the post, not on my phone, but on my iPad, and I notice that there was an I in between the lane. So it was Nathan Lane, but with an I. So it wasn't Nathan Lane. And it wasn't Nathan Lane in production. It was Nathan Lane's Productions, which is a small independent film company. And so the whole time I'm just screaming. I'm like, Nathan Lane, where are you? Anyway, Patreon, you're going to get that video after I'm done this live stream. If you are a member, and if you click the join button, you're a member. Every single live stream I've done so far this year, they're all going to the members, except this one. I'll keep it up till the next one. But all the live streams are going to be going. I think even some of the I'll keep the Wanamaker performances up. That's history. Thank you, Emerald, Gnomestead. Hot Dog Day is this. Thank you. I appreciate the shade bell. Thoughts on WWE versus AEW and AEW's decline? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about AEW. I go to AEW shows occasionally. I'm sort of in independent wrestling. Like I do shows occasionally as an independent wrestling manager. I've worked some shows with guys who were in AEW. Um, uh, One of the things I hear about the AEW locker room compared to WWE is AEW is definitely a party. It's kind of out of control. WWE is a business, so that's pretty much from a really good inside source. I mean, I don't think the butter's necessary, Scott, but you can put ketchup on your hot dog as long as it's Heckler's spicy ketchup. Uh, I would stand in line for a free sandwich for 5 minutes. I would do it for 5 minutes. Um, I also, when I go to Hoagie Day, I'm working, and it's usually a pretty successful video every year. So I always make money on the day. Um, but this year, when I heard that people were in line around 7 a.m. for $10 worth of shit, it broke. It really made me sad. It really made me sad because I you saw my video. I was like, you know what? It's kind of hot. The line is kind of long. I'm going to sit in here in the air conditioning. And that's what I did. I sat in the air conditioning. I scrolled for like 10 minutes. And by the time I was done scrolling, um, I noticed the line was gone. And I was like, oh shit. And then I just went and walked right up and I grabbed my sandwich. It made me sad. I don't stand in line at the ballpark. If I want to get something to eat at the ballpark, I buy it the first thing I go in and I get it and I eat. My whole way of getting anything in the ballpark is um, usually Capri hooks me up with free hot dogs if I want any. Um, but I usually, if I buy something at the stadium to eat, I usually go where there's no line. But honestly, the prices are so high. I hate buying anything at the ballpark. I don't wait in line at John's Roast Pork. Kyle Schwarber's always a Cub. Oh, okay, I'll remember that when I watch him play for the Phillies tonight. No, I never been to Diamondbacks game. Ryan Sandberg, who ended his career as a Philly, you're welcome. Yeah, I think the strike is still on. Yeah, her hot dogs are smaller, so her hot dogs are cheaper. The hot dogs at Capri Stand are $3, If you go get a Philly Frank, I think they're $6 this year. But the Philly Franks, I think, are quarter pounds, and Capris are like the basic hot dogs you get in the hot dog bag. G got us a World Series, did he? G got you? Yeah, he's a tough word. Oh, I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm gonna put you in timeout for 30 minutes. And now I'm gonna bash the Cubs. What a pile of shit team they are. CM Punk is an asshole. Yeah, Rick's right here. He's laying down on the ground. I don't walk him when it goes above 90 degrees. He won't go. He just won't go. I tried to walk them last year. It was like 89 degrees, and after we walked about 4 blocks, he started like walking in the shade, and I was like, "All right, dickhead, come on, let's go." Oh, that's good. I like that. I will be at the game tonight. Yeah, they say above 90 degrees, if you walk on the asphalt, it's not good for their poles. Um, yeah. Oh, I don't know if we're going to whoop the Padres. Well, listen, I'm actually the car got inspected today. We passed inspection, and it's back, and I am ready to go. I will be at the ballpark. I think tonight's game starts like 10 minutes earlier. Hopefully, we win. I don't even know what the hell we did in our last series. I haven't paid attention to the Phillies at all. I'll tell you the truth. I've been really into NASCAR ever since I've been covering NASCAR, and I've been watching the Dale Jr. podcast, and I've been catching up on all of my drivers, Greg Biffle, Casey Kane, all of my guys, and they all retired. And it seems to me a lot of people burn out because of that NASCAR schedule, and it is a long weekend, and you're kind of a prisoner, and you just can't go anywhere if you're a driver. I couldn't imagine being Joey Logano walking around there. Uh, yeah. I don't even know what series he's talking about. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's good that we passed the inspection. It's something I dread. I can't do it. Cheryl has to do it because I don't. I think she's coming. I don't. I feel like car mechanics are scamming us, so I don't do good with that. But whenever she goes, they just pass, no problem, and blah blah blah. So yeah, yeah. But he retired from the NASCAR. Yeah. Am I excited for the WNBA team? Maybe. Probably. Yeah, why not? I like to root for stuff. Oh, Willie, I'll have to check that out. I know there's a Egypt motocross, or there's something in New Jersey, and I'm going to hit them up to see if they will let me go over there and record a video and talk about like what it's like to be there, be a driver and stuff. I really enjoyed the NASCAR thing. I also my most successful video of all time on YouTube is now a NASCAR video. It's a short. It got over 250,000 views. Um, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels work, but I have millions and millions of things seen on Instagram, and YouTube never shares my shit on Shorts. Uh, it doesn't matter. I don't care. That's the whole point. I don't care. Millville, Bridgeport. That's it. I got to talk to the radio station to see if they can use me for Dover. If the radio station can use me for Dover, I'm going to go to Dover, but I don't know if the radio station can use me. Yeah, you're in my algorithm. Not on YouTube Shorts. I do the YouTube Shorts when you see me doing YouTube Shorts. That means I was extremely bored, and that I did most of them while I was camping in Poconos. Dover's in like a month, so all right, let's go Phillies. Yeah.